Okay.
Okay, so Sue and I are good friends. We met a couple, 3 years ago.
Exactly.
And Sue provides a it's still not well known, but what it is, it's financing for small businesses, startups, or expanding businesses, but it's non-collateralized. And it's over a 10-year amortization, and it's very, very low interest rates. So it's affordable by literally anyone. So instead of going and running up your credit card at 18%, for 6 or 7 or 8%, whatever it is, you can get loans in a one-page application. You get approved in 24 hours and get your money funded in a week or two. So when I met Sue, I said, boy, are we a target-rich environment for you. We have thousands of local entrepreneurs. Our banks have no money and won't lend even if they did. Angel investors are a joke. There's no such thing as venture capital. And we need help. So I brought Sue to some of our events. And as a result, and I started with Roseanne Higgins.
Right, Roseanne Higgins.
Roseanne Higgins came to me and she said she was ex-military, and Sue has 2 types of loan, SBA loan programs. The Community Express, which is for civilians, and the Patriot Express are for veterans. And the veterans have a little bit of a break in a couple different angles. Hey Al, come on over here Al, this is actually interesting.
Good, I'm in for interesting.
All right.
Have a seat right here, Al.
I got my Starbucks, I'm ready.
You're ready. So, Roseanne came to me and she said, Peter, my bank line of credit was absolved because my bank was seized by another bank and they canceled everything, and I had an account there for 20 years. And she goes, I need my line of credit, and it's gone now. And not even only gone, they called it. It was already out, and I mean, it was like worst case scenario. So she was crying because her business of 14 years was going to close down. And I said, wait a minute, I just met someone that could help you. And I called her right from my desk, put her on. Literally, she got approved in a day and saved her business. She wires the money right to your account.
Well, you and I need to talk as I get more involved with the company base here and how to raise money.
26,000 times.
We need to talk.
So, as a result,
we definitely need to become best friends.
we have now done at least 500, and I don't know because you got to add a lot. Because I tell everybody about them, about Sue's program, and then they call up and they get the thing online and wire it in. Now, Sue's done this for 500 clubby members, but she's done it for 26,000 small businesses out there. She's the only one in the country that does this. And she has problems with our SBA all the time. The bureaucrats who have zero knowledge of actual life as it is, let alone business process, dismiss small business as, well, we don't really need them. Let's go support all the other failing large companies that we can subsidize and socialize. They're morons. Hear me now, Washington, you are morons.
The problem, Peter, is that 80% of the employment in the United States is in small businesses.
You think they've figured out? They're
and
also
that's where
voters.
The voters are coming from.
You think?
But
So
they don't take us seriously.
Oh, I understand that because there's the masses that they have to deal with, and if you want to actually spur the economy on, you need to provide that working capital.
There's no question about it. If you don't give a small business money to hire people and to buy goods, there is no small business. And if there's no small business, we don't have an economy, and we may as well just become a socialist or communist, because what the heck's the difference? But we're not going to. So by being able to all collaborate together and group together, that's where our strength lies. But we don't ask for anything. But the only thing we're going to ask for, come on over, Tim, sit down. What we're going to ask for is we're going to ask for the government to treat us the way fairly, to treat us and actually allow us to participate in programs, especially ones that work. So I told Sue, I go, Sue, come down and do my grand opening tonight. But what I really want you to do is talk to some of the individuals here. We'll videotape them. Let them give your story and talk one-on-one, and take these videos to Washington and play it. These are real-life entrepreneurs. We need money. It's the lifeblood. It gets going. We'll do all the work. We're not asking for a handout. We simply want to have the capital in order to operate. She has it. Leave her alone and give her whatever she wants. Real simple. Give her whatever she wants. So, that being said, share a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you all, and I want to go around the table and find out your names and your businesses too. And Peter was so kind because I texted him in desperation, and I said, this loan program that I helped start 9 years ago isn't going to be killed by 2 people in Washington, D.C. that are career government workers. And what's really interesting, I did the stats, because Peter asked what my stats were. This program has funded 40,000 small businesses. It's the fastest growing loan program within SBA's history, and 2 people want to shut it down because they don't feel small businesses deserve the loan. They'd much rather have people do much larger loans and put up their house as collateral. When even though the data will show that in order for us to get out of this recession we're in, we're going to have to support our small businesses. 28 million small businesses are registered with less than 5 employees. That's where the growth is. And it's over and over and over again. That's where the growth is. But there isn't a product out there or a program out there for small businesses except this one. And it's been proven.
And so
Absolutely.
I can verify that because
Identify yourself.
my name is Al Schapp. I'm a partner with B2B CFO. Essentially, I'm a consulting CFO for small and medium-sized businesses. I've spent the last 35 years either being a controller, treasurer, or chief financial officer. I have not seen it this bad in the last 3 years. I have 20 different clients that could be growing and employing more people, selling more product, if they had the opportunity to have a good, structured SBA guaranteed program.
And this program works.
Yes, it
and
does.
Peter will testify, because Peter didn't know me from Adam, and then we've had proof over proof over proof that it does
500
actually
so
work.
far.
Yeah,
It does work.
it works. And it works with people's cash flow, because as you know, being a CFO, cash flow is what it's all about in small business. You can have great net income.
Cash is everything.
Cash is
Cash is
it's
everything.
got to flow. I mean, if you want to pay for the airfare for
Yeah,
Joe
profit,
Biden and
yeah.
his fuel with your taxes, that's fine, but it's cash flow.
Profits are wonderful, but that just means taxable,
Yeah.
tax payments to the government. Cash flow pays the employees, pays the bills.
Absolutely. And how about you, sir?
Hold on, let me get it so we get everyone on tape.
Okay, my name is Tim Elias, and I come from the auto industry, and I definitely see what you're saying because there's a significant slowdown in people getting approved because the banks aren't lending anything. So we focus on the bad credit industry, and basically you've seen so many people struggling to come up with a small down payment because their businesses are underfunded. And you know, if people aren't making money, then money's just not going to keep turning. So I mean, funding's definitely the key. So in anything you do.
Fabulous. And you've seen a downturn in your economy,
Right,
in your
definitely.
business sector that you're in.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, the price of the low-end cars has gone up because the supply has decreased. And so with that said, it's just so difficult for the people that make the same amount of money as they made 2 years ago to continue to pay the prices of inflation on the cars that are the same cars that they would buy before. And so with that said, there has to be new funding. I mean, there has to be a new way to get people to do the things they usually have been doing for the past 100 years.
And again, I don't think that there is any problem with any of these businesses saying, all right, I will put the controls in that you need.
Exactly.
I will make sure my records are correct.
Absolutely.
I can get, somebody that can do that part-time very efficiently, very effectively, and we'll make sure we run our business correctly. We'll pay all of our taxes.
Exactly. Small businesses want to.
Absolutely.
Your most honest sector of business is small business.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Look at the record of big business.
Exactly. It works. How about you, Larry?
Well, I'm in the healthcare systems business. This is the product that we have, which is all your medicals from all your providers. The healthcare reform says that everybody will have an EMR, which is what this is, by 2014. You would think that there would be a rush for all individual physicians or even clinics and groups to have an EMR. Not so, because it costs anywhere from $44,000 for one physician to plus $8,500 a year at least to maintain it, to $296,000 for a free clinic.
Plus you have to implement it, you have to
Plus
train
you have to
people.
implement it, your people have to be trained and all that. And who makes out? The system supplier. That's it, period. If you have your own and you take this to your physician and all he has to have is just a stupid laptop computer, not even connected to the internet, he's got your EMR, and you have your EMR wherever you go.
Plus, Larry's a small startup business, so he needs capital to get his business up and running.
Yep.
And he's a prime example of what we need in today's society.
Solving a problem.
Yeah,
This
solving a
is
problem.
Genius.
And saving insurance companies money.
Oh yeah, and save you in your healthcare
Unnecessary
costs
tests,
too.
unnecessary tests in
Yeah.
EMRs.
Right. Now,
emergency
take that one step further. Let's say, the client base and the company that he's dealing with can bill out effectively, more effectively to the insurance companies, to Medicare, to Medicaid. Chances are most of these smaller companies are getting paid in 180 days. If you take it effectively with the systems, you can cut that down to 90 days.
And make huge savings. How about you?
I'm Jim Mayhew, and I'm in the wastewater treatment business. Our company is called Coro USA, and we have a wastewater treatment system that's about 10,000% ahead of everybody else on the planet. We're convinced that we'll have our wastewater treatment system is the future for the planet. We're brand new in the United States. We just started out. We're in 7 other countries right now. We've got over 300 operating systems. We need more than money. We need bureaucrats with an open mind to change the way wastewater is treated in the United States. We run into I've been here before.
Right.
There's a brick wall up whenever you start talking to people about making the changes necessary to do this. But our system is one that can be scattered throughout the city rather than having a central location that you pump wastewater 60, 70 miles to. We can do it on an individual basis. We can do it for 400 or 500 homes. We can do it for 1,000 homes.
And how many countries is it working in already?
7.
All right, so where's our green initiative?
Exactly.
Yeah,
He's got it sitting right there.
Where's all the politicians who support the green initiative and save the environment? They should be supporting him
Absolutely.
without a doubt.
But why do you think they don't? Because he's a small business and they don't pay attention to it.
Exactly.
Right.
And just needs a little bit of capital to get it up and running. I mean, it's
Marketing, market
marketing.
awareness, brand
First
awareness.
hurdle.
Exactly.
They just gotta get started. So, Jim moved his company into this office. Why? Because I bartered the office space for him, and he gets to brain trust with people like this, who then know people to introduce him, who introduce him to financiers, and on and on and on. We have to do it ourselves. No one is helping us except ourselves, and they're in this group.
And by the way, I have a couple other, struggling intellectual property ideas that might fit in very nicely with what you.
Now, how about our landlady? How would you?
That's
would
her
you-
husband, by the way.
This is
Oh,
my
hi.
husband, Chuck.
Oh,
Yes,
wonderful.
I'm Joan Clancy, and basically we've been in real estate for over 30 years, offices and apartment buildings, and we've expanded into Mexico. But what has happened here is this building used to be full less than, 6 months ago. We were almost 100%.
Wow.
We had businesses in here that were 15 years with us, and we worked with people. They just couldn't get the money. You're talking America Financial, names that have been here forever, and no one could get the money, or people aren't paying them. So it trickles down everywhere, and from the bottom up, they got to keep the small businesses going. That's
Exactly,
what it
because
is.
all the small businesses that started here, we want them to grow up to be large businesses, but they need a place
Because
to start.
they would expand, they would
Yes.
grow,
Employ
and
people.
they employ people,
And
and
spend
it
more money.
keeps going on, and it's a vicious cycle. But I have seen in the last 2 years, so many businesses go out of,
They can't get the
Business.
capital.
that have been here
Well,
for
they have
years.
absolutely no access to it, and their working capital is
It's all
drying
gone,
up.
everything's
It's
gone,
drying
the
up.
lines of credits are gone, everything's
What were you
gone.
gonna say, Jim?
One of my very dearest friends was the owner of Magic Boats and Sleek Craft Boats up in Lake Havasu. 150 employees, $1.4 million line of credit that the bank got in trouble,
Yep.
got
Right.
pulled. They walked in and pulled his line of credit overnight. Put
That's what's
150
happening.
people out of work
Seen that more
and
than
destroyed
once.
a very successful boat operation.
And here it was a small business, and there's nothing out here for small businesses but bureaucracy. I mean, it's time for a real change. And if we don't change it as entrepreneurs and small business owners, nothing is gonna happen. We're gonna stay stagnant and just go under.
That's why we have a chance tonight to put one in office a couple days from now. Leanne Hull's one of us. Construction company, 26 years. A mother, a grandmother, 2 children fighting in Iraq. She's perfect. Sue will bring her into the right committees if she gets elected as Congresswoman. Into the right committees that she can have an impact on small business. She'll make the introductions that has taken a lot of time in the federal government to get to understand and meet. She has been battling the bureaucrats in Washington forever. We'll edit this, don't worry about it.
Thank you. Yeah. I've already got, I went to find out who's running our country, right? That's what Peter's saying is, I went and knocked on the door of everybody on the Hill. That means every senator and every congressman. And I finally found one that would believe in it, so I got it passed through the House. I can't get it passed through the Senate, but because every time the Senate is ready to do it, they call the 2 bureaucrats that have been there for 32 years in the agency that's supposed to help small business. They said, no, we don't like small businesses. They don't pay their loans back. Women and minorities default higher. And that's just the opposite. I've got the stats to show it.
It's so wrong.
Unbelievable. And then I find, I'm being taped up.
Go ahead, show them that.
We all feel the same way. Just keep going.
If we
Just keep
don't
going.
clean, and if we don't clean up our career bureaucrats, we're never going to get anywhere. And I told this to a congressman out of San Diego last Saturday. And I said, listen, you can pass every single bill you want to pass. It gets over to one of those agencies, they change it because they don't like it. And they live in the Beltway. They get a 4% raise every January. They get 240 hours of leave time or vacation. They get every paid holiday, pension, and the best health care because they don't have one of those. And all the rest of us are out here trying to make it work.
Well, they're socialists. That's what they are.
No question
Oh,
about it.
absolutely.
Total socialism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're out here believing capitalism.
Trying to
and,
make it work. And then we're called bad because we want to make a living. That was my all-time favorite. We were called bad because, well, you're supporting people that want to make money. Well, no kidding. Who do you think is going to pay the taxes to pay your flipping salary?
Yeah. By the way, this country was built on that philosophy.
And it should
Let's
still
just keep
be
going.
on that philosophy. That's the
Exactly.
problem.
It's very interesting they would call it bad.
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 I've had 2
Not
people,
different, but
not
bad.
bad, 2 people that are entrepreneurs this week apologized to me in a presentation because their companies were going to make money. I said, if you ever apologize to
I'll
me
slap
again,
you.
No.
I will never fund you.
You know, this is not
Honest
just
to goodness.
yeah. This is just not happening in the SBA, FINRA, the SEC, broker dealer networks. They're trying to kill the small broker dealer networks. I'm trying to go out there and raise money for another client who's going public. We're not going public in the U.S. by the way.
Going
We're
in
going
Korea?
public in Germany.
I know 2 are going public in Korea.
Yeah, we're going public in Germany.
Korea. The technology was developed here in the United States, but they're not allowed to go public here. They're going to public in Korea.
That's just wrong. We have one more I want to introduce. This is Elvira.
Sad. I'm one of those women. There's few women on the table, thank God. There's more and more. I'm very passionate. I used to be a foreigner, now an American, and I'm very passionate about the fact there's 52% of the population is women. But women are somehow still very shy about who they are and what they can be as an entrepreneur. And that's where I step in. I make women so super excited about their life, and I show them how they can double their income doing whatever they want. Whether they want to stay home as a VA, because I need a VA. That's where I need the money, just a VA to get my message out, to help all the women, to help them blossom, to make a difference, and then to radiate it out to their kids and their surroundings. Women have to step up to the plate, but they're still shy. They're being held back. We still have the 75 cents to the dollar. Drives me nuts.
Well, let me tell you how the lending works. This program is the largest lending program to minorities and women. In 2007, we were doing about 42% to women and minorities. Since the new administration has taken place, it's down to 2.6%.
Yeah. I fall under that
Now,
category.
where is the press
That
on
is
that?
shameful.
Yeah.
Where is the press on that? And I asked the press 2 weeks ago, and I was interviewed in Raleigh, North Carolina, and they said, well, we're a liberal. I said, I don't care if you got 42 heads. You got to speak the truth.
Exactly.
Entrepreneurs are party agnostic. We just believe that the business of America is business. It always has been, always will be.
Yeah.
How did it get started? They didn't have 401ks when they came over on the Mayflower. They were true blue entrepreneurs. They were like the Vikings. They burn the ship when they land. This is what it is. Yeah, you're not going back. I mean, so we're here. This is our country. We got to take it back. Now, here's the funniest thing, and We'll edit this out.
We really are editing this out. My dartboard picture's got
I
a
just
lot
got a
of
call
darts.
from the governor's office because she wants to meet me. Who the hell am I? Tonight we have a congresswoman. We've had both Maricopa County attorneys and a whole bunch of other politicals. Why? Our 4,500 businesses represent 75,000 votes in little old Phoenix. And I didn't know that until they told me. That's why they're knocking on our door. They said, yeah, of course, but smart too, especially if you're pro-business. Like Leanne. Yeah, no, that's fine. I want cooperation.
But once they get there, they have got to stay on target. They get back there, and then they start doing all kinds of stuff. I was just asked to go train women in Afghanistan to be entrepreneurs. Now, last time I checked, women were being shot. Why would you spend taxpayers' dollars to send me over there to be shot? To train women?
Think of it. There's too many women here in the United States that need support. It's ridiculous.
You're absolutely right.
Oh, let's get our backyard up to strength so we can help the world.
By
But
the
before
way, there
that,
are some tremendous ideas coming out of the small entrepreneur today. I mean, and because of the disaster in our economy, there are better ideas coming out today than
it's like a
ever
phoenix.
before.
We're rising. But
That's
let's
right.
get
I
the
mean,
money here.
But we take a look at here, and here, especially, and the building and leasing trades, we're being squeezed out.
Oh, I know.
We're being squeezed out. I mean, these ideas are just not coming to the forefront.
And
Why?
these can employ new people.
Yes.
Thousands of people.
And save
VAs, all
dollars.
this stuff. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
All the immigrants.
Sure.
Absolutely.
There's no diminishing return on the brain power of the American entrepreneur. But we need the juice to keep it going.
Yeah.
We have to figure out how to open up the floodgates to give us the capital that we need. We don't need a lot. We just need some. Her program loans to thousands and thousands of us. It can't go away. If it goes away, there's nothing
There's
left.
nothing. There's absolutely nothing. I have funded 40,000 small businesses, and we use our own money. It is 5 entrepreneurs that put their money together. The venture funds I work with, there are entrepreneurs that made it, that give it back out. I was just with the group, and part of it is they have to, once they make it, they have to put 10% back to help the next group come through. And it's been very, very successful. And so now we're being stymied because we've got people back in Washington that don't understand it.
Yeah, I've been actually talking to a couple venture capital groups. Just give me access to $2 million, and I can make you more money on that than you would ever believe.
Oh.
Just give me access to about $2 million. I'll make sure it gets into the right hands. I'll make sure it gets paid. I'll make sure the records are correct. Just get me access to the funding I need.
That's all you need is a little bit. We were just joined by Sylvia. Introduce yourself and what you do to the group, Sylvia, please.
Well, I'm Sylvia from Trade Source here in Phoenix. And what we have is a trade exchange that we give people more business through trade. It's another form of economy. If you're not able to get a loan, but you can probably get a loan through us so that we can help you get the things that you need to get your business going. And that's what we do here.
Wonderful.
Sylvia is the barter exchange that we use at Club Entrepreneur, and many of our members. Joan is a member. Joan's building is a member. Therefore, we are now tenants here because of Sylvia's barter exchange. We could never take down 8,000 square feet like that and fill it in a week if we didn't have the flexibility of having, you're going to become a barter member and you're going to pay me with the barter you earn. Same with you. Same with you. You haven't moved in yet, but I'll talk to you. But we have
We have space down the hall.
Med-Stick Corporation, by the
There
way.
you go.
Gentlemen.
That's
Ladies.
corporation. But look what we have here. We have the largest lender in the SBA and a whole bunch of entrepreneurs from every possible different age. How old are you? 20? 19. Okay. And he's in the car business. He sold 700 cars in 2 years. Now, what I'm talking to he and his brother is actually entering into barter. Because guess what? People can't get financed, but they can get financed and buy a car. Now, she's comfortable to loan him money because he has one of those little gadgets that you can track them and turn them off.
The car can stop. It goes through in and
Well,
out.
I asked him, he says he wouldn't stop it in the middle of the street though.
Oh, okay,
He will let them get to the corners.
Good, I'm glad.
They don't let them off the
It worked
road.
in Mexico when they took over to Mexico.
It works anywhere the satellite could see them.
That's not such a bad deal. But once again, it's an entrepreneur thinking out of the box and making it work.
And by the way, a young entrepreneur that will be here for a long time.
Employing people,
Yep.
paying taxes. These are the people who need help. Have you applied for a loan for her?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and you haven't, but lots of other people have. Like I said, 500 of us at least, which means that she personally has loaned our members, say $6 million in this economy. That's amazing.
Sue
Who
and
else
I
is
are gonna
doing
become best friends.
And her challenge is
I'm
the
gonna
two
need some
bureaucrats.
after this tape.
That's what editing's all about.
I'll bribe you later.
Yeah, you're gonna probably be, man alive, I'll have a wanted poster. What'll be the first?
You know, you know what? To be popular in Washington is the antithesis of what an entrepreneur is all about. You know, so we just have to figure out how do we work together. Now, what I have talked with Sue about is some of our clubby members, way smarter than me, have actually figured out, which I will have your CFO brain get around, a private SBA, which is nothing more than a loan guarantee for small business. They figured out an insurance product that will actually guarantee that it gets paid back. And they figured out on sinking reserves, and it's very complicated, algorithms and all that good stuff, which is nothing more than what the SBA is for Sue. And her investment group, as long as they're covered, along the guidelines, and just do the same guidelines you're doing, that you're doing successfully and you're having low default rates, why wouldn't you take the private insurance to guarantee? And then we would not have these muddling bastards in our business anymore. Because all they do is we make it so dependent on them that then they own us. That's the last thing any of us want.
Well, and there's no dialogue with them. I wouldn't mind if they'd sit around a table and have a dialogue with one person, but it's their way or the highway.
Yeah.
And since when did that happen in America?
We're the ones that put them in office.
Exactly.
Well, that's what we have to do. We have to take them out of office. And we have to put our own people, entrepreneurs, in office.
And we have to hold them accountable.
Yes.
That's the key. We have to hold them accountable.
And they can't stay there too long.
Oh,
If
there's
they
got to
stay
be
there too long, it just,
Yeah,
that's
same
what's
thing
wrong
all
with
over
it.
again.
Absolutely. They only care about keeping their jobs, and that came out loud and clear. And how much money you're going to give them as a lobbyist or donate to
Well,
them.
then they're protected for life.
That's
From
like
them.
so,
And all this healthcare
I
that
feel
we've
so
got,
protected.
you know they got their own plan.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh,
yeah.
My test on it, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
No, no.
Well, we got our
You
own
just gotta
plan,
hope to
too.
die
It's
first.
ridiculous.
Right here.
Because otherwise you'll die with them.
It's totally criminal.
They're
It's
the
more
people and
criminal.
we're the little people.
if we were doing it,
That's
we'd
what
be
it is.
behind bars. They just
yeah.
make it law. It's okay for us to do it. What's wrong with this picture?
I know.
Now, because we have this is a wonderful experience. Who has a challenge, or who wants to ask Sue? Because, I mean, this is all she does. Sue travels 51 weeks a year. She literally walks into the vice president's office and shakes him. She goes in, knocks on every single door, goes to everything. She's had bills passed in Congress, can't get them passed to the Senate yet. She needs help. We have to get our message out. If we bring politicians or entrepreneurs into office, that's one way. But the other way is to just by sheer inertia, sheer massive inertia from our own.
I got 164 other partners in B2B CFO that have, across the country, that have at least 20 clients each.
Well, see, that's
that employ
that's
how many
elite.
people? Give me the information, I'll spread it out there.
That's what we need to do.
I'll spread it out.
If we back her, she's the only one I've ever
fine
met
with
in 34 years of being an entrepreneur that actually takes our message, actually gets it, because she's a small business. Tell them why you started your business in the first
Because I
place.
couldn't get a loan.
She couldn't get a loan herself. That's how she started her
Yeah,
business.
that's
And if I criticize something, I'm always willing to step up to the plate and do it, because it's cheap to criticize. Now you got to figure out and find a way to make it
Solve it.
happen.
How do you
Yeah.
solve
And
it?
that's what I'm all about. And all of us that are in it, when we first started it, all started with nothing. We were all nobodies that started this, and so now we built it so big that we've helped so many small businesses, but we're not Bank of America. So they don't want anything to do with entrepreneurs that think outside of the box. They want people that stays right in there and is big business and what it's all about, and that can't happen.
Join us, Janet, and please come and join us too. And let me introduce who you are. Janet's got a very interesting background for those of you who know her. She is a banker by day with Comerica as business development and a caterer by night.
A baker by night.
Baker by night.
Banker by day, baker by night.
So Janet's very interesting. Her husband is a career military man. I think you have 3 sons. She was able to actually go, and I believe over 2,000 tapes, letters, and everything, and get all 3 football scholarships to make them go to school. So while husband is fighting our wars, she's out banking, raising 3 children, sending them to college, and being our caterer tonight.
So what do you do in your spare time?
I'm gonna figure that one out.
Oh, wow, that's, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's fabulous. Thanks for being the creator.
I love it. Still.
Smelled good coming in here. I thought, oh, I hope it's
It's
Toby
gonna
that's
be
having
great.
it.
Oh, you're on your way in.
Yeah, you can smell it too. I thought,
I mean, I agree with you. The thing is to get the word out.
Well, here's how you get the word out.
Yeah.
You get the word out by having, this is going to be filmed. We're going to edit the parts that'll get her. but what we're going to do is we're going to spread the word to all of our respective networks. Now, we have thousands of members, and they have thousands of friends, and we're just going to do this viral. We're going to keep pounding away. We got to take back our country. Just so happens the primary's in 3 days. It'd be great if we could actually elect a couple of our people. But let me tell you what's going on. I'll tell you anyway. Let's say Leanne doesn't win the primary. This is her first election. She raised no money, didn't put up a billboard. It's all grassroots in the entrepreneurial vein. That's all that's getting her to this point. She has a chance to actually win because his seat has 10 competitors. So she's calculated all she has to do is, come on over, Denise, all she has to do is win 12,000 votes and she's our new congresswoman because it's always been elected Republican. However, if she does not win, there's already a committee that's raised a whole bunch of money and tapped me to be the new mayor of Phoenix in 2 years when Gordon leaves. She is one of us. Can you imagine the 5th largest city in the United States to actually do the right thing by entrepreneurs because we're run by one? And we support her? There's magic that can be done. We're not going to change Congress and the Senate overnight. No way, Jose. But if we take it back the country one city at a time, and Phoenix is the start, we're already here. We're already doing great things. Let's now become someone to emulate the rest of the country and start here. That's what I would do. We're joined by Denise. Ironically enough, Denise Meredith was with the federal government for 35 years.
I'm not quite that long, but anyway.
But she is,
And by the way, you're not there anymore, are you?
no, she is an entrepreneur. So to share who you are, because what we're doing here, and you've met Sue before. Okay, so what we're doing is we're trying to help Sue fight to keep the programs that she's established in Washington. She has been thwarted by 2 career and really stupid government officials who are.
Now I'm not just suck my boat.
I can say it. I don't care.
I don't care.
Okay, so who are trying to derail a program that's the most successful of its kind with the small business loans. So just introduce yourself. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Denise Meredith, and not 35 years, but I was with the Bureau of Land Management for 29 years.
Sure.
And that's all right. And I was in Washington 2 different times. So a lot of what I did there, obviously, was dealing with Congress. And I dealt with the old Congress, which was sort of nice. There were Republicans and Democrats. But when it came to doing the right thing, they worked together and got it done. And then I was there for the second round of Congress, which has been a little bit different. And it's everybody for themselves. There's no compromise involved. But I did do a lot of testimony on the Hill and that type of thing, so if I could help with that. I got along very well with, there's a way to do it. There's a way to play Washington as far as getting along with Congress people when there's not a crisis. So then if you do have an issue, yeah, they're ready to talk with you. And I sort of continued that here. I was deputy director at the Bureau of Land Management in Washington during the Clinton administration. So I had 10,000 employees and $1 billion budget, 200 offices, and sometimes you have to be careful what you wish for because that was like a lot. And I was there for 2 years, and it was exciting, but there is no there there. Washington's not designed to get things done, as you realize, and you know that's just the way it's designed. Literally, it's designed for
To perpetuate.
Yeah, well, it's designed for gridlock to keep any particular thing from getting out of hand. And I was there through probably, I don't know, everybody's transition all the different transitions, and it doesn't matter Republican, Democrat, they're all sort of operate the same way once they get into office. And perpetuating your time in office is a lot of the key there. So they're not always, particularly a newer group, they sort of sway this way and that, depends on what's in at the time and what will look good to them. So I've had a lot of experience in that way. I moved out here because of Washington, it was just getting to be a lot. I'm a results-oriented person. I like to finish things. So I moved out. Bruce Babbitt was the Secretary of Interior there at the time, and of course this was his state, so he thought I was very good at transitions. So we talked about it, and I came out to Arizona. So I was state director here for 7 years in Arizona, and I perpetuated that same style. I had regular roundtables with the congressional aides, and as Sue knows, the aides are really what makes it happen. Not so much the Congress people are important, but the aides are the ones who actually read the bills or not. So when the Congress people said they didn't read the bills, that's not new. And it's not actually even important, because it's really important that the aides understand it. Because they do the translating. They put the note in front of them and say this. Now literally, it's true. Or they,
And they're 19 and 22 years old.
Oh,
They're running the country.
Yeah.
Some are 21, 22 years old.
Great.
because your internship is like right out of school. That's why you got to be an
Unbelievable.
internship, and your internship is working with the congressional people. So I mean that got to me, but you have to sort of hold your tongue, because they're being like really smart asses to you, and you're going like, excuse me. but anyway, if you get to be friendly with them, which is of course my approach. So the ones here are a little older, because we're out in the field, they're a little more settled. And so I had regular roundtables with them, like every couple of months. Nothing going on, just let's get together, talk about issues, what kind of problems you had or whatever. And it got to the point that they were so comfortable with you that if somebody called to complain, because usually what happens if someone calls to complain about you, it's sort of like a kiss of death, because they're on the phone, but if you do it right, like we had it going here, if someone called to complain, they said, well, maybe you don't understand the issue. This is the kind of thing that and we'll send you some additional information, or maybe you can go back and talk to Ms. Meredith about it. It was a really different vibe going. So Sue she's an expert herself. I don't, not much we can say about
It
her.
had to be. You had to.
It's about survival.
Survival.
Survival. It's
So,
the only way I know how to survive.
But isn't
But I
it
think-
sad if these people actually had to earn a living like we do?
No
they'd,
way.
be, they'd be out of business by lunch, and we'd eat their lunch too.
Yeah.
They need to learn to live in our world, not above it. They're not above us. It's a joke. We put them in business. They're helpless without their pensions and everything else. They'd starve to death. They'd be on the side of the road with a can asking for donations from us, the business owners. It's just wrong. It's just totally wrong.
And sometimes it's really the career people. It's interesting. I don't know. I have to talk to you about who you're dealing with. Because sometimes it works the other way. The career people, because we've had some strange presidents along the way. So the career people sort of keep the boat from going over the edge. So, there are pluses and minuses to that whole structure. Stability is what they aim at. If you want to get something done, then it's not going to happen. But sometimes the something that people wanted to get done was totally outrageous or illegal or immoral or something, and career people sort of help. But if you can get the career people on your side, that's a real key too, because they're there. In fact, I had a sort of run-in with a particular political appointee when I was there, and the congressional people said to me, "Denise, what are you worried about? Your career. He's going to be gone in a couple of years." That's the attitude, and that's true. You're the career person. You're the stable one. They come and go.
So if that's what we have to deal with, and there's no way to change it, we have to figure out how to marshal support, and you're the tip of the spear, because you're the only one that understands. I'd be crazy.
I wouldn't be able
You
to.
walk down the halls and you're just going like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Did I just really witness that? When you have a 19-year-old person that's giving the congressman
No offense.
no offense, what to vote on, it's going to affect all of us. I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like having my son. He can't find his way from point A to point B.
Well, we used to take the 19 and 20-year-olds whitewater rafting.
Drown them? That's a good one.
It's not private, I mean, because
On my tax dollars.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's worth it, because what you're getting out of it is.
You're getting stuff passed, but
How sad is that? But that's all right. So we have a really great opportunity. Ask her anything you want to go because she is the pulse of small business. Funded 40,000 or 20, however, tens of thousands of them with their own money. That's amazing. So ask questions. What's available? Tell her about the bank with Comerica. Are they still going to be around? Or are they going to blow up like everything else?
They're doing really well.
Comerica's a good bank. I mean,
She's going.
don't do that.
Well, wait a minute, don't take her
Wrong
what she said.
person. Rewind.
I know, between you and I, we're gonna all, but what we said today,
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna have to.
when
It's gonna be
Ann
in
comes
it.
out and starts, I'm just gonna back up. I would suggest you come with me.
The
Editing
bank
is
as a
important.
whole is a sound bank.
Yes, it's a very
We
sound
just
bank.
don't have anybody here with us? No.
Oh, I
You're right.
used to bank with them entirely.
But we don't have good leaders in
You're-
Arizona.
You're right.
And I think Arizona, we're kind of their test ground dumping ground,
Oh.
so to speak. And I'm too old.
Oh, no, I mean,
And we want to get. I took my pill today. But, you know, just as a structure for your money so far, because they don't really lend too much.
They don't. They just
Yeah,
have
no,
it,
they
but they don't
don't.
really lend. We're
well,
bank.
no, I mean, the point was, I had one of my clients who was a very successful breakfast-type restaurant in Old Town Scottsdale that was looking to remodel there and go down to Cityscape. Comerica was on my list. They eliminated themselves because they couldn't get past the idea that, we were going to expand.
Well, I had two people from Clubby, I'm not quite sure who it is, emailed me. I mean, just, I don't know all the paperwork that goes into loans, but I mean, they emailed
Oh,
just
it's
buttloads of files.
astounding.
Within 2 hours, I got a decline. How did you look at it? How did you?
Yeah.
Well, we
you know,
didn't
so I
really
mean,
look at
as
it.
far
Oh,
as
no,
the
the
deposits,
typical
they're good.
SBA that comes out of the commercial banking world, I can tell you that whenever a client of mine tells me, well, we're gonna go for, an SBA loan, oh, no, you're not. Because from a commercial bank, it's probably 3 months of my time. And it's a massive amount of paperwork, and eventually
They say
there.
no anyway.
Well, no, I actually have gotten a couple of them to say yes. But it was a Sunday afternoon, I think it was just before Memorial Day, where I actually called this guy an idiot. Now, I know that I can't take another client to him.
So you ever do that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, the guy was asking such stupid questions, but he eventually got it approved. I said, fine.
Even a
and it
blind
was
take
probably
notes.
on the form, that's why he had to ask those questions, because the forms are absolutely
Oh, no, and you can't
Who are
submit.
these people?
But you can't submit to the commercial SBA. You can't submit a forecast. You know the forecast that I do.
Yes,
You can't submit that. You have to put it on their forms.
yes.
Yeah, everything.
So they try every possible way to not let us succeed. How is there even in America left?
Oh, no,
Is
because-
it China?
No, because
Yeah.
Peter, the people that are still surviving at this point, I think, if I'm correct, they're just refusing to go along with the economic snafu that we're in.
And we're just going to make our own.
Make
We're
our
going to
own.
make our own up, and that's what we're really
and
doing.
find different ways of financing it.
Well, here we are.
Find people
We're
like
in a
Sue.
place right now
Right.
that she got her to barter this to me, and now I have the place almost full.
Yeah.
And, literally, so
Yeah, I mean, you only
In a
gave me a
week.
week to find an office.
Yeah, what was that?
I missed it.
If I could follow up on the Arizona comment, we have a particular challenge here in Arizona, and it is a leadership
Oh, yeah.
issue, okay? So it doesn't matter what we're talking about, we can talk about a lot of different
Well, you find that in
industries.
every state.
Yes.
Uh,
Michigan, no,
and,
you can find that in Michigan,
Like
because that's where I'm
Arizona,
from.
You find in
But
Michigan?
Arizona's
Yeah.
where
Arizona's a whole different.
Okay, well, wait a minute, let's talk about California, where I'm from.
Oh, no, please.
well,
I mean,
no,
we've
we
got
don't wanna
Jerry
know.
Brown coming back the second time around.
Please don't talk about
I mean,
that.
you can go be in every state and you're gonna find it. There's some states that are a little bit more proactive, but this is the nature of the bureaucracies now. They've just developed such huge bureaucracies, you just can't get anything done. And small businesses are the ones that are paying the most because they have to come with the most licenses. Every time you turn around, there's another permit fee you've gotta pay or another inspection you gotta pay. And that's just taxation without representation, is all that is.
Have you ever read the section in the healthcare bill that says every company in 2011 that you pay any money to, you have to submit a 1099 for them?
Yeah.
And that means
Yeah.
if you go to Home Depot,
Oh,
buy
right.
$600 worth of
God.
things.
Exactly.
What?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Every
That's
in
right.
2011,
Yeah.
if they
That's
don't repeal
insane.
that, it is insane.
It is.
I mean, my fees are,
imagine the accounting?
I'm gonna make more money off of it because I'm gonna lead every one of my clients through the process, but it's ridiculous.
That's
Even
just
if you have a plumber come to your place and
Yep.
it's over $600, you
Yep.
gotta give them the.
Yes.
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 Oh, no, what I'll do is I'll issue a $299 check to one of his employees and another $299 to another. And as long as I stay under 600, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But that's what's coming
That's a lot
out.
of work.
Yeah, that's coming a letter. Well, they wrote everybody a letter. We got a letter in our
Yeah.
office about it.
Yeah, that's buried in the middle of the healthcare bill.
On page
Well, they sent us a
30,000.
notice somewhere. We got a notice saying that it was gonna happen.
Uh-huh.
I don't always bury that.
Oh,
We
yeah,
already got the notice.
It's like
I
on
would
page
say we got it by
2000
June.
2067 of the healthcare.
I could follow up on Arizona. I didn't finish my comment. On the Arizona, that's all right.
We know this.
Oh, no, that's all right. I'm used. No, the issue with Arizona that makes it different is it's not a headquarters place. We don't have the corporations that can be philanthropic. We don't have a lot of things that other cities do have. They all have challenges, but others also have all the opportunities that we don't have here. And I was at a meeting this morning, all morning, about bankruptcy. I was there for Starting Now Homes.
Yes, you are.
Yes, thank you. And there were 400 or 500 people in this room who filed bankruptcy. This whole auditorium full of people who filed bankruptcy. And the person was talking about different resources available to people. And it sounds terrible, but they said they couldn't find, when they go to different cities, they try to find a reputable person that they'll recommend. He said, for cars, and I thought about you, so we may have the answer to that. But he said they could not find anybody in Arizona, any dealership that they would do business with here.
It's pretty sad.
It's really. He said he was sort of surprised because they did a lot of research and they he said they looked at a lot of them, they talked to a lot of them, and they're not interested in helping everyone. Just not interested. Some of them have programs, but he said he wouldn't send people to those programs. So we may have.
I can help them get funding.
Yeah, we can maybe have a one answer to that, but the point that they made, and here you have a whole room full of Arizonans going, oh, because
That's pretty sad.
we're not getting the help here that some other cities
So
are
we
getting.
gotta do it ourselves,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. And we're not incapable of doing it our own selves. Like I can tell you right now, I'm gonna give you a list of 8 or 10 small banks that we work with, that the presidents of these community banks are us. They actually pay me for, and you taught me this. I gave her so much business, she's not a depository, she's a lender. She said, Peter, there's nothing in it on the fee side over here. Let me tell you how to make money. Go to these banks that need my money to get wired into those new accounts. I wired $25,000 as a startup account. We vetted it. The SBA's approved it, and I've loaned it to it. Guess what? They do nothing. They'll pay you for that. So taking that example, we have 6 or 8 different banks that pay us to direct business to them. Those bank presidents belong to Club E. They come up sucking like little puppies all the time. You'll edit that one too. Thank you.
Barely editing this.
This whole thing is now coming in.
I'm gonna make a lot of money off this video.
But the play is, he's a small businessman, dominated by Earnhardts and all this other stuff with the big banks backing him. If we could get some of those bank presidents to fund some of his stuff, he'd go off the charts because he will help those people.
Exactly.
That's what tell him what the name of your company is.
Bad credit auto.
There you go. There you go.
Perfect.
Plenty of minutes.
We're having a round table, and we're saying anything and everything.
And we'll edit it later.
Should I
Who
leave
cares?
it on? Joe and the Rocky.
Peter Perkins, nice to see you, Joe, and that's Sue. And have you met before?
Did you speak for
Have a
30
seat.
years? I mean,
Have a
that's
seat.
so fun.
What this is doing.
I became an American, so.
See here, Joe. Introduce yourself so everybody knows who you are, and also we're gonna edit most of this.
Most of it out.
Like the whole thing.
I would like to actually see
wanna
the
get on?
original tape, not the edited.
No.
No, honestly, because I mean, there's.
You and I are editing it.
I know.
So,
And then
Yeah.
before I go to jail.
That's right.
Yeah, you need to,
We'll take care of you.
get tennis shoes on those three
We'll
boards.
take care of you.
We're 24 years out.
Well, at the bank this the last 2 weeks,
Survive.
and I'm a busy woman, and like I said, I'm too old. But we had this big push for mortgage loans and some other kind of loan. We're working round the clock. If you don't get these apps, if you don't get, and we changed our corporate upper management changes every other month. Someone's fired, someone quit. This rule has changed. This comes in. I don't operate that way. Give me some rules, and I'll try to follow them as best as I can. You know, but we had to get each branch so many of this, or your manager's getting written out.
Wow.
So just the person I am. You know, we set up booths, we set up tables. In 3 days, I got 28 loan applications. Everyone declined.
Oh.
How can you tell me that
Oh,
out
yeah,
of
no.
28,
Not one.
everyone, one gentleman has, I think the place is Goodyear. The public storage, he owns 2 of them. He's trying to build a 3rd in wherever he has them.
Well, yeah,
One
no,
has been for
because
20
your your income is now projected,
But the
and
one's
they'll
been
decline it on
20
that.
years. He has an $8 million business park somewhere here, declined for